Can you hear me? You're muted. Unmute. Okay, I just unmuted you. I can't hear you.
You can't hear me now?
Now I could, yeah. What's new? Did they ever send the exterminator?
No, he hasn't come. I think he came once this month, and he's waiting for next month, for July.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So you got to use a lot of Raid.
I mean, Raid, but I have this spray that's called STEM.
Uh-huh.
Raid makes a similar thing, but it says that it's safe to use around pets and also people, children, and you spray them, and it works on the nervous system. They go like that, and then they die right away. So if they come on my table, that's what I give them.
Yeah, but you got to get into the cupboards and everything.
Yeah, well, that has to be done. Yeah.
Well, you're not living too close to the preserve across the street. You know? Remember Carlos Benucci, our super?
Yeah.
777 Foster Avenue. Used to call it the sanctuary for insects over there.
Yeah, well, what was his address again? What was the address of the building?
777 Foster.
That's Foster and what?
It's around 4 houses off Ocean Parkway. Right next to, you know, where the old age home was there? It was an old age home.
Yeah.
Right after that, if you're walking from Ocean Parkway on the north side of Foster.
I thought you were talking about this place, I think that was owned by the Trumps, Roach Haven, we called it.
No, it was owned by the Lentnecks. They're the modern day Trumps.
Yeah.
Slumlord in the city.
Yeah, where were they located again?
Donnie Lentneck.
Huh?
Donnie Lentneck.
No, but where was their building located?
Foster Avenue, on the north side of Foster Avenue. Walking from Ocean Parkway, it's right after the old age home, on the left side of the street.
Wait, I'm mixed up. I thought you just said that was the guy with the Italian name.
Yeah, he was the super.
Oh, he was the super there?
Carlos Benucci, he was the super.
But I'm a little mixed up. I thought, wasn't Beach Haven somewhere in not Brownsville, in Bensonhurst?
No, this wasn't Beach Haven. Where did you get Beach Haven?
Or where was
it? Parkville Plaza was called.
The one that you went to to court about.
I never lived in Beach Haven. That was Foster Avenue.
That was right here.
Parkville Plaza. Parkville Plaza, it was called. 777 Foster.
Weren't you thinking of moving, or you moved for a short while to a place that was pretty far from here, from where I live, and then there were too many roaches there, or there was only...
No. The only place I ever was with roaches was on Foster Avenue, Parkville Plaza.
Oh,
I never had roaches in any other place.
And my memory is shot.
No, that was the only place. You have original sound for musicians on?
Yeah, but I tried it last week with both off and on. I didn't have the problem of going very high and getting it canceled out. But you know, I looked at the thing today where it says what each one is, and it says most people. It says that musician on, you know, original sound for musicians on is mostly for a studio arrangement, you know, like you have a lot of people, you know, playing instruments, and then it says most people use the off position. Well, I don't know.
Most meetings are not people playing music.
Yeah.
Most meetings are business meetings. Not around there.
Well, we'll see how it goes.
I recommended you on Facebook to those sites, you know, that that color pictures and restore pictures for nothing. Did you ever go and try them?
Did you? No, but you're talking about for me to do the work on it, or for me to ask for work to be done?
Either way,
Uh,
either way.
Because some of the work I could do, but some of them is a little more complicated, and I don't know if I can do all of
So you
that.
do the simple ones. Yeah,
Uh,
you pick what you want to do. They don't assign you. They don't assign stuff to you. You pick what you want to do.
but you see how many people, do the same picture.
Right.
5 different people doing their version of it.
Well, I had one that I had three different versions on. I picked the one I like.
Yeah,
I thank the others for their effort.
yeah,
In fact, one of them that was called was a wedding that my parents was at. I have it as my cover photo on
yeah.
Facebook.
So, yeah.
They did an excellent job. One guy looked too artificial. Well, this guy was really natural. This guy who did it. So.
Well, I'm sure the some of the photo studios are angry at this site because they charge for that.
Well, I used to do it down here also. I used to do it for people. Yeah. Most of them didn't want it covered. Colored. Most of them wanted just the restoration. But I did prints. People had slides, and I did prints. That they don't do because you can't do that for nothing because you have material. You can do the labor for nothing. But the ink and the photo paper costs money, and the postage to get it to them. It's amazing in this day and age.
Yeah, yeah, they give nice color pictures of things that happened 100 years ago or 150 years ago.
Right.
They look very natural.
hmm I got a call this week from Joel Winderman.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, he just had, he's in bad shape. He had 5 stents put in. They couldn't do bypass. He was too old. He's a year older than we are. He sounds horrible. He's got to go around with a walker with oxygen. He's around only 40% of his heart muscle.
his wife.
Huh?
Did he say anything about his wife?
She passed away 3 years ago. I didn't know.
Oh, didn't know that.
Well, 2 years ago. She had lung cancer,
Oh,
but she was a heavy smoker. His son took him to Mount Sinai Hospital. He rushed him there. Well, Jerry is here today.
which,
I wonder what
which,
happened. Harvey Mintz is not here today.
which branch of Mount Sinai?
I don't know. There's one floor that dedicated to all cardiac patients. Some Indian guy runs it. How you doing, Jerry?
Hi, gentlemen. How are you all?
Okay.
How are you?
I'm okay. I'm okay. It's I had a visit from some of the grandkids a little while ago. We're reassembling the house now. You know, they find a way to deconstruct the place every time they come here. It's amazing. They're you know, I should just open my own demolition company and just send them off to work. They
Yeah,
just destroy the place in no time.
yeah, I figured out a long time ago that it's much easier to destroy a place than to build it.
It's true. It's true. It takes a lot of time to build something. It takes almost no time to destroy it. And these guys have it perfected. They're excellent at it. They came over to give me my Father's Day card and bring bagels. It was very nice. Very, very nice. So, but otherwise, everything's good. Everybody okay? Everybody healthy, I hope?
Yeah, and I had a few problems. I was in the hospital 2 weeks ago on a Sunday with a blood pressure of 200,
Oy.
and I still have high blood pressure. They changed my medications now. My
Okay.
cardiologist he's on vacation for the whole month, so his partner they put a monitor on me for 3 days, and he has a nurse practitioner who's very good. She's monitoring me with the medication, and they sent the nurse 2 times a week, to monitor my pressure also.
Okay.
They have a branch of NYU down here, the doctor's
Oh, okay.
offices. They're excellent.
Oh, good. So you're feeling better? You're okay?
Yeah, not okay yet, but it's getting there. The body has to adjust to the new medication.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah, I just finished. I saw an old friend of yours, or friends of yours. I had at my shul Friday night. We did Peter, Paul, and Mary Shabbat with gathering time.
Wow.
It was fun. It was fun because it was literally 3 years overdue. We were supposed to do it in June of 2020, and of course, we had to cancel because of COVID.
Yeah.
So this was sort of the return or replacement engagement. It was nice. It was really, really nice.
That was with the new member, right? The new.
Yeah, she's. I mean, it's not the same. It's never the same, right? So whenever you have a change of personnel, it's different. She's a different kind of voice. She's got a very pretty voice. She's an alto with a very nice voice, but it's not a powerhouse voice like Hillary's was.
Hillary had, yeah.
Hillary's was more like bammo, and Hillary was like a more dynamic kind of performer.
Yeah.
This one's very laid back, much younger. She's far younger than everybody else. I'm going to say she's maybe 30, maybe. Maybe younger than that. She's young. But they're very good, and they're very accessible for people. People like what they do. The harmonies are lovely. And they do a very their approach is very laid back. It's very laid back presentation, not in your face or anything like that. And it was nice. It was nice. We kind of, the rabbi and I kind of waded through the service and decided what songs could they do that were Peter, Paul, and Mary songs, or Peter, Paul, and Mary type songs that would be appropriate to substitute for particular pieces of liturgy, so that, like, in place of the Hashkivenu, they sang "Bridge Over Troubled Water." It was very nice. I mean, it was really, really very nice, and people liked it. And they did a little sermon in song in the middle, and then at the end we had a little jam session, and then all guidelines went out the window, and I did some blues, and we did some bluegrass stuff, and so it was fun. It was fun. We're still, of course, like everybody else is, struggling with how do you get people to come back into the building physically. We did it as a hybrid service, and so we were on Zoom and live and in person, and a lot of people tuned in. But it would have been great for them, meaning not only the congregants, but for gathering time, to see a lot of people in the sanctuary there singing with them. We had maybe, I'm going to guess we had maybe 40 people, which was, I mean, the sanctuary seats 250 people, so 40 people makes it look pretty sparse.
Yeah. Right.
And this was for a special event, so. What are you going to do? It is what it is.
Could have invited Peter and Paul to come.
Absolutely.
Put more people in.
Not Mary anymore.
Well, it's funny because years ago, when I first started doing these kind of services, the first one I did with Stuart Marcus, I came up with this idea back in 2010. Okay, so we're talking 13 years ago already, right? And somebody said, well, if we're doing Peter, Paul, and Mary, anyway, why don't we just sponsor a Peter Yarrow concert? And I went, you don't have any idea what you're really saying. You don't have an idea what this will cost, because people don't understand. I said, Peter Yarrow, and this is back in 2010, Peter Yarrow will charge us $25,000 to come and do a concert.
Right.
We have to charge $1,000 a person to break even. I mean, this is not going to work. So we didn't get Peter Yarrow, but we still had Peter, Paul, and Mary Shabbat. So it was okay.
He's pretty old and frail now.
He is. He's kind of like, he's fading, but I mean, he's still out
Snooki
there
is very
kicking
good
around.
yet. Snooki is very good yet. He still has a lot of energy, but Peter Yarry, he sings 2 songs and he's tired already.
Yeah, I mean that whole thing of the touring and that's very hard on you. You know, what I mean, it's really really hard. Even if you're touring at a high level, meaning that you're staying in good places and there's good food and you're getting paid well, it's still hard. The only person I know who seems to thrive on it, no matter how old he is Willie Nelson. You
Yeah.
know, he'll play at his own funeral. It never ends with this guy. I think he's much more comfortable on the road than he is anywhere else. This is where
Hold again.
yeah, he's amazing. He's an amazing guy. Really
He's
amazing.
also high all the time.
Yeah, well, exactly. I mean, that makes it all seem so much better. That it's funny. They had an article in today's Newsday about pot dispensaries. Because New York authorized this. The sale of recreational pot, and so all these people jumped on wanting to get licenses, and a bunch of licenses were issued for Long Island, and there are so many restrictions that municipalities, only 4 towns out of 13 towns on Long Island have agreed to allow recreational pot sales within their township. And within those 4 towns, only 1 location has been approved. They've come up with all kinds of restrictions on locations. So I don't know how they're ever going to have dispensaries here.
So you're saying there's a long line out the door?
There's just no. What I think will do it is once a dispensary opens and they see the long lines out the door and they see the money going out the window that they're not making, all of a sudden they'll change their mind about their restrictions, and that'll be that. So who knows?
Do you get the newspaper Newsday?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I get it too. That's my newspaper because I don't like the conservative papers like the New York Post or whatever. And the Times is too much for me to handle.
Right.
But I get Newsday because that's their editorials are liberal and they give good coverage of the news. Not everything that happens in New York City, but something. Yeah.
No, they do. I mean, they do a pretty good job, and certainly the paper has a decidedly liberal slant to it. It has for a long time, and it's a decent paper, But
Yeah.
It used to be Long Island Newsday, and now it's New York Newsday. They've changed their focus.
No, they were New York Newsday when they were covering New York City.
Well, they were Long Island Newsday. They were located just on the south edge of Roosevelt Field.
I know, but at one point when I used to get it, they were New York Newsday because they covered New York City too.
Yeah.
They were like New York City, and then they dropped New York City after a couple of years or something like that.
When I was a kid, it was a Long Island newspaper. It was located on the south, on the road that runs across the south side of Roosevelt Field Shopping Center.
Yep.
And you
Now
drive down and there's a big Newsday sign.
they have, I believe, they still have offices in Garden City now. They have a right off of Stewart Avenue in Garden City, but they're it's like I say, it's clearly a decidedly liberal slant to reporting, which is fine. It's great, but they are. There's an attorney I know who got into the field of cannabis law. And I'm not joking, got into it very early on because he saw where things were going, and he's a very clever guy and he got into it. But all these ideas are great, except that if the authorities will not allow you to open a dispensary, what good is it?
That's why I asked you about Newsday, because they have an article about that in today's paper.
Yeah, I saw it. That's what I was saying. It was in the paper, and one of the guys that got a license said, I found exactly 1 location that they will approve, and that's it. Nothing else, nowhere else. And presumably, if that's the case also, any landlord who owns a property like that can charge whatever they want. Just say, well, okay, I want, I want $20,000 a month for my space, for my storefront, because where are you going to go someplace else? And it's very interesting too, because they reported in Newsday, but also in the Times, that out in Colorado, which was in the forefront of, legal pot sales, now they have a surplus. So people are sitting with too much product. They have stuff in the fields and they don't know what to do with it. So it's kind of like blowing up in their faces. I don't know what that's all going to mean to the marketplace. And I still haven't figured out what I don't understand, and I would like to understand, when, over the years, but very, very rarely have I handled anything that's sort of quasi-criminal, very little. But a few times I've had clients who've come to me about DWI cases. And, when it comes to DWI and it comes to breathalyzer tests and all that stuff, there are very specific, clear guidelines in every jurisdiction and how it works. And if you don't take the test, you automatically get your license suspended and all this other stuff. But it's never been made clear, as far as I've heard, how they test for being under the influence of pot. And because its effects.
It's a blood test.
Well, yeah, but the problem is that traces can remain in your system for up to 2 or 3 weeks. So if they give a blood test and you just happen to be in the wrong place at the wrong time, and 3 weeks before you smoked a joint and they stop you and you didn't do anything wrong, you could still test positive. Very interesting problem.
But they're going to have to establish legal limits on how much they have to detect before they can give you something, because otherwise that's exactly the excuse that any defendant will use
Yes.
to get out of it.
Yeah,
So,
it's
but
going to be
it's gonna be
interesting, because it's
an amount
really
in the
not been
blood.
made clear.
But that's the same
It's-
as alcohol. It's an amount in the blood.
Well, yeah, but again, what I'm saying is, let's certainly, I'm not speaking from personal experience, but if you smoke if you smoked a joint today, right, and 2 weeks from now, and after today you don't smoke a joint for the next 2 weeks, right, there may be traces that will show up in a blood test. Okay, and if that's the case, are you really under the influence? The answer to that is presumably no, but could you be convicted?
They're gonna have to establish some kind of an amount that they have to detect.
Exactly.
So that
Exactly.
after 2 weeks, there should theoretically be a small enough amount in the bloodstream that they look at it and say, no, you're not under the influence.
Yeah, they're going to have to
We're
sort
doing
it
the
out.
same thing they do right now with alcohol. It just doesn't hang around in the blood as long.
Yeah, I think I may give a call to that attorney and say, do you know anything about the guidelines? Because those of us out here don't know anything about what's going on. How does this really work? Don't know.
Hello, people. Can I just check if you are hearing me? I'm trying a different system and it's
sound
good.
excellent.
Oh, that's all right.
Sounds
So
excellent.
I should be going through a webcam, but I notice it's cut that bit out. So I
No,
don't
Bill,
know.
we can't hear you at all. What system are you using?
Oh, that's good. Yeah, if you can't see me, that's a bonus. I'll take that. As long as you can hear me, that's the main thing.
Everything is good. The voice is very
Right, I
strong.
won't.
Oh, you look beautiful, darling. You look beautiful.
I won't touch anything now. I shall
Oh,
scurry back to the
you
little
need to
corner.
focus your camera. You're looking a little fuzzy this morning, but maybe you just need coffee.
No, I went on very low video settings because on this system it doesn't take the video very well. So I've taken it right down to the minimum amount of sharpness and contrast and saturation and anything else I can take down low. So I think the more I boost them, the more it's going to come out my sound. That's my theory. Anyway, we shall see.
Turn the computer off in the back.
I don't seem to have very much
I don't know
time lag
what
at the
it is.
moment, so I'm going to stick with what I've got. Thank you for your patience. I'm going to get back in my box now.
Okay. We have 13 already. That's pretty good. We still have 4 minutes till we have to go on.
His Zoom session is officially bar mitzvah.
Right. 10 is a minion. 13.
So where is that bar?
13.
That bar you're talking about? The bar mitzvah.
Ah, there we are.
Debbie, stay hello so we can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Good.
Doreen Alex is going to be performing today?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Please, can someone say whether they can hear me or not?
We hear you.
We hear you, but you're not loud. You got to increase your volume a little.
I don't think I can.
A little
Try that.
better now, Mike.
Pardon?
It's a little better now. Where are you located this week?
Yeah, I'm in Cornwall.
And where?
I'm in Cornwall. At,
Cornwall.
Cornwall.
yeah. So, if you can hear me, I'll try something. I just have to yell.
Okay. So we have a good turnout so far. Another 3 minutes. Yeah.
Ray and Anna can be on Facebook. Figure that out.
Okay. Laura's coming in.
Everyone's come on right over here.
We got a good turnout. I thought usually on Father's Day we always used to suffer with a low turnout. We got a very good turnout. I'm very happy. Another 2 minutes.
Can you hear me, everybody?
Yes.
Yeah, can you bring your volume up a little? Bring your volume up a
My
little.
volume is up. This is
Okay, we
the part
can hear
of
you.
the road.
But when you perform, you got to be close to your mic. Because when you're playing the guitar, you tend to go back, and that's when we don't hear you.
Okay.
Does everybody have their original sound for musicians on? Head go up, look up, upper left-hand corner.
Oh,
There's
wait.
a little green check there to say original sound for musician on.
You're right.
If it says off,
Okay.
click on it, it'll be on.
I just turned my original sound on. Is that any better?
It'll be better with your guitar if you play it.
The
Yeah.
guitar will be
Okay. All right. Yeah, I just turned it on. It was off. Thank you.
But always keep your voice close to the mic.
I like that one.
We got 14 already. One more minute. No.
Are we muted?
Okay, here is the order. Now, Maury, you were in first. Jerry was second. Pat is third. Harvey is four. Lonnie, 5. Bill Pardon. Steve. Mike. Donna. Susan and Bob. Kathleen. Doreen and Alex. Alex will be performing today. Debbie and Ron and Laura. Okay, if anybody else comes in, they'll be after Laura. But of course, I'm always after everybody. So, it's like we're right at 2 o'clock. So everybody please mute. And Murray, you have the floor.
Okay. Okay. As you've known, I've sung songs in many different not many, but several different languages. And today, for the first time, I'm going to sing one in Russian. And it's the song that those were the days were based on the melody of this song, although the words in Russian as they're translated are different from those were the days. This, in English, it's called The Long Road. In Russian, Dorogai Dlinayu. And it was written in 1920, actually, in Russia. That was right after the revolution there. Okay, now I'm going to give you the translation in English first, so you'll know what I'm singing about. And it's a nice little poem. You rode on a troika with sleigh bells, and in the distance lights flickered. If only I could follow you now, I would dispel the grief of my soul. By the long road in the moonlight, and with this song that flies off ringing, and with this ancient 7-string, that's a 7-string guitar, that has so tormented me by night. But it turns out our song was futile. In vain we burn night in and night out. If we have finished with the old, then those nights have also left us. Out in our native land and by new paths, we have been fated to go now. You rode on a troika with sleigh bells, but you've long since passed by. Okay, that's the translation of what the words are. Yekilana troikas buben sami, avdali melekal iaganyaki, yakagda binye teper zavami, dushu berazbeyet ataski, darogay dlinayu, pagoday lunayu, das besne toish lovdaletit svenya. Da so starinoju, da se mistrudnaju, da pa našam tak mučila minja. Laj, 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 da so starinoju, da se mistrudnaju, da pa našam tak mučila minja. Doj vychodit pelimi za darom, pan brasnil nož za nož južle. Jestli mi pokončili sa starim, tak i noči je ty atašli. Дорога и длинною, погода лунною, да спресна то, что вдали звеня, да со старинною, да се ми струнною, что по ночам так мучила меня. Лай 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 лай. I forgot. Да со старинною, да се ми струнною, что по ночам так мучила меня. На народную новыми путями нам одни ехать суждено. Ехали на тройке с бубенцами, да теперь проехали давно. Дороги длинною, погодой лунною, да спесне той, что вдали звеня, да со старинною, да се ми струнною, что по ночам так мучила меня. Лай 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 лай. Да со старинною, да се ми струнною, да по ночам так мучила меня. Hey!
It wasn't easy either. Okay, thank you so much, Murray. And now, back after a long absence, Jerry.
All right. Okay. Okay. Saul had made a suggestion, I guess, when he sent out the weekly reminder that it is Father's Day, and so to try to come up with Father's Day themed songs. So I feel like, you know, while we can revere fathers, we can also make joyful fun of them. And so this is a tune that has a chorus. I've sung it for you before, okay? And I'm going to teach you the chorus again. It's a very easy chorus, and I expect you to sing, and don't make believe you're singing and just move your lips, okay? That's not kosher here. Okay, it goes like this. You have a very small but crucial part, very crucial. It goes like this. Kind of crazy, out of phasey, looking very, very hazy. My daddy's turning green. My daddy's turning green. That's your part, okay? This is an autobiographical song. When my daughters were young, we took them to an amusement park. Not much to my amusement. And my wife said I had to take them on the rides. And we went on a ride over my objection. And most of the time I kept thinking to myself, don't throw up on your kids. Don't throw up on your kids. That would not be okay. We came off the rides. I didn't throw up. But my younger daughter, Marissa, came running off the ride yelling, Mommy, Mommy, Daddy's turning green. So after I recovered, I said, that's material for a song. So your part is, my daddy's turning green. Okay, it comes up, okay, a lot. So you got to do your part. Here we go. Have you ever seen your dad turning green when he takes you on the rides? Does he look really yuck? 'Cause the ride you just took kind of shook up his insides. Do his legs kind of shake? Does his voice kind of break in a way you haven't seen? Well, you can be sure that he's feeling poor when your daddy's turning green. Kind of crazy, out of phasey, looking very, very hazy. My daddy's turning green. Now where is he in a tizzy, getting very, very dizzy? My daddy's turning green. Off the wallish, gonna fallish like he's really lost it allish. It's a very, very awful scene. If he's moaning and he's groaning when he could be ice cream coning, my daddy's turning green. Have you and your dad ever been on a boat when the waves got high and rough? And the look in his eye made you think he would cry if he was not so tough. And he wouldn't eat brunch or lunch or munch at meals or in between. He's seasick, sad, and feeling bad when your daddy's turning green. Kinda crazy, out of phasey, looking very, very hazy. My daddy's turning green. Now where is he in the tizzy, getting very, very dizzy? My daddy's turning green. Off the wallish, gonna fallish like he's really lost it all. It's a very, very awful scene. If he's moaning and he's groaning when he could be ice cream coning, my daddy's turning green. Or on that plane again to Maine or Spain or Timbuktu. Can your mind retrace that strange look on his face like the last time that you flew? And the stewardess smiles just a few thousand miles, Dad. This plane's a safe machine. You better hold his hand and try to understand when your daddy's turning green. Kinda crazy, out of phasey, looking very, very hazy. My daddy's turning green. Now where is he in a tizzy, getting very, very dizzy? My daddy's turning green. Off the wallish, gonna fallish like he's really lost it all. It's a very, very awful scene. If he's moaning and he's groaning when he could be ice cream coning, my daddy's turning green. Or when you gotta get a shot 'cause your forehead's hot, or it's not, but the flu's going round. And the needle shows and Dad's weak smile froze, and it looked more like he frowned. And you feel okay, but Dad's blown away. Can't stand up, he's starting to lean. You better give him a drink and put him near the sink when your daddy's turning green. Kinda crazy, out of phasey, looking very, very hazy. My daddy's turning green. Now where is he in a tizzy, getting very, very dizzy? My daddy's turning green. Off the wallish, gonna fallish like he's really lost it all. It's a very, very awful scene. If he's moaning and he's groaning when he could be ice cream coning, my daddy's turning green. He's green.
That's great.
Sadly, a true story.
Thank you so much, Jerry.
Pleasure.
Oh, good. And now, Pat.
Hello,
You Freddie?
I'm Freddie. We're gonna do Georgia on My Mind. Georgia, Georgia, the whole day through Georgia, Georgia, a song for you comes as sweet and clear as moonlight through the pines. Other arms reach out to me, other eyes smile tenderly. Still in peaceful dreams I see the road leads back to you. Georgia, Georgia, no peace I find, just an old sweet song keeps Georgia on my mind. Other arms reach out to me, other eyes smile tenderly. Still in peaceful dreams I see the road leads back to you. Georgia, Georgia, no peace I find, just an old sweet song keeps Georgia on my mind. I say an old sweet song keeps Georgia on my mind.
Very good. Very good.
Good job on the guitar there, Harvey.
Pat, this was your best performance to date on this show. I really liked it.
Thank you.
Okay, Harvey.
I agree.
All right, the song by Blind Blake, also performed by Dave Von Rock. And if you really want to get frustrated trying to learn this song, listen to Hot Tuna play it. Because Jorma Kaukonen is one heck of a blues guitarist. Called That'll Never Happen No More. I met a girl in a cabaret. She said, Papa, are you going my way? Was mad to know what it was all about. She took me home just to put me out. Broke my nose and she split my chin. Don't let me catch you around here again. Whipping through the wind, itching out through the door. Hit me in the chair till my head got sore. But that'll never happen no more. Live in Chicago in the winter and fall caused me to wear my overalls. I got drunk and it was my fault. I was drinking tequila, leaving the salt. Met a girl in a big mean coat, fancy car in a 40-foot boat. She pulled out a gun and she took my dough, but I didn't holler and I didn't get sore. But that will never happen no more. Went to a party the other night, got to drinking, I was feeling alright. I lit up a reefer, I was drinking some gin, sitting back waiting for the fun begin. Pretty little girl comes up to me, says, come on daddy, let's whip Blake Willie. Woke up in an empty bed, the pockets were empty, had a pain in my head, but that'll never happen no more. That'll that'll never happen no more.
Thank you. Now, Harvey, and now up to the Ocala National Forest. Lonnie.
Hi, how's everybody doing today? And a happy Father's Day to all of you fathers. I have two Father's Day related songs here for you. And the first one goes like this. Harry Chapin. A child arrived just the other day, came to the world in the usual way, where there were planes to catch, bills to pay. He learned to walk while I was away, and he was talking for I knew it, and as he grew, he said, I'm gonna be like you, Dad. You know I'm gonna be like you. And the cat's in the cradle and the silver spoon, little boy blue and the man in the moon. When you're coming home, Dad, I don't know when, but we'll get together then, son. We're gonna have a good time then. Son turned 10 just the other day. So thanks for the ball, Dad. Come on, let's play. Can you teach me to throw? I said, not today, I got a lot to do. He said, and that's okay. And he walked away, but a smile never dimmed. He says, I'm gonna be like him. Yeah, you know I'm gonna be like him. And the cat's in the cradle and the silver spoon, little boy blue and the man in the moon. When you're coming home, Dad, I don't know when, but we'll get together then, son. We're gonna have a good time then. You came from college just the other day, so much like a man I just had to say, son, I'm proud of you, could you sit for a while? He shook his head and he said with a smile, what I'd really like, Dad, is to borrow the car keys. See you later, can I have them, please? And the cat's in the cradle and the silver spoon, little boy blue and the man in the moon. When you're coming home, son, I don't know when, but we'll get together then, Dad. We're gonna have a good time then. I've long since retired and my son's moved away, and I called him up just the other day. I said, I'd like to see you if you don't mind. He said, I'd love to, Dad, if I could find the time. You see, the new job's a hassle and the keys are the flu, but it's been sure nice talking to you, Dad. Real nice talking to you. And as I hung up the phone, it occurred to me he'd grown up just like me. My boy was just like me. And the cat's in the cradle and the silver spoon, little boy blue and the man in the moon. When you're coming home, son, I don't know when, but we'll get together then, Dad. We're gonna have a good time then.
Nice job, Lonnie.
Good choice.
Thanks very much. Listen, thank you so much, Lonnie. Now from the Ocala National Forest in Florida over to the coast of England and Bill Pardon.
Right, yeah, good song that, Lonnie. And I'm going to do one from Australia, which celebrates the joys of fatherhood, but as it's from Australia, it's not necessarily in a good way. But we'll see what happens. Oh dear, rue the day ever I married, how I wish I was single again. All this weeping and wailing and rocking the cradle, rocking a baby that's none of me own. Well, I am a young man from the town of Kyandra. I married me old woman to comfort me home. But now she just leaves me, and she cruelly deceives me, and she leaves me with a baby that's none of me own. Oh dear, oh the day ever I married, how I wish I was single again. All this weeping and wailing and rocking the cradle, rocking a baby that's none of me own. Well, while I'm at work, then me wife's on the rantan. She's out on the rantan with the other young boys. How she just leaves me, and she cruelly deceives me, and leaves me with a baby that's none of me own. Oh dear, oh the day ever I married, how I wish I was single again. All this weeping and wailing and a rocking the cradle, a rocking a baby that's none of me own. So all of you young men who are fixing to marry, take care that you leave all the flesh girls alone. Or by the Lord Harry, if the one you should marry should leave you with a baby that's none of your own. Oh dear, oh the day ever I married, How I wish I was single again. All this weeping and wailing and rocking the cradle, rocking a baby that's none of me own, rocking a baby that's none of me own. That's a happy tune, isn't it?
That's an unusual one.
Thank you, Bill. And now back to South Florida and Steve.
This is recorded by Pete Seeger. I don't know if he wrote it, but I added some of my own lines. English is the most widely spoken language in the history of the planet. 1 out of every 7 human beings can speak or read it. Half the world's books, 3/4 of the international mail are in English. It has the largest vocabulary, perhaps 2 million words, and a noble body of literature. But face it, English is crazy. Just a few examples. There's no egg in eggplant, no pine or apple in pineapple. Quicksand works slowly. Boxing rings are square. A writer writes, but do fingers thing? Hammers don't ham. Grocers don't gross. Haberdashers don't haberdash. English is crazy. If the plural of tooth is teeth, shouldn't the plural of booth be beef? It's 1 goose, 2 geese. Why not 1 moose, 2 meese? If the plurals of mouse and louse are mice and lice, why aren't the plurals of house and blouse heis and blice? And why isn't a single grain of rice a rouse? The plural of index is indices. Shouldn't it be 1 Kleenex, 2 Kleenexes? If BISON spells bison, why doesn't PRISON spell pricin? English is crazy. You can comb through the annals of history, but not just 1 annal. You can make amends, but not just 1 amend. If you have a bunch of odds and ends and get rid of all but 1, is it an odd or an end? If the teacher taught, why isn't it true that a preacher praught? If you wrote a letter, did you also boat your tongue? If the past tenses of bind and find are bound and found, why isn't the past tense of remind remound? If the past tense of hold is held, why isn't the past tense of fold felled? If the past tense of sing is sang, why isn't the past tense of bring brang? And if a vegetarian eats vegetables, what does a humanitarian eat? English is crazy. Why is it that night falls but never breaks and day breaks but never falls? In what other language do people drive on the parkway and park on the driveway? By truck but send cargo by ship? Recite at a play but play at a recital? Have noses that run and feet that smell? English is crazy. How can a slim chance and fat chance be the same? When a wise man and a wise guy are very different. To overlook something and to oversee something are very different. But quite a lot and quite a few are the same. Why do flammable and inflammable mean the same thing? How can the weather be hot as hell and one day and cold as hell the next? English is crazy. You have to marvel at the lunacy of a language in which your house can burn down while it is burning up. You fill out a form by filling it in which your alarm clock goes off by going on. If the opposite of con, what is the opposite of progress? We don't use the word truth as a verb, but we do lie. There is no single word verb which means to be born, but we do die. English was invented by people, not computers, and reflects the creativity of the human race. So that's why when the stars come out, they're visible. When the lights are out, they're invisible. When I wind up my watch, I start it. But when I wind this wrap up, I end it. English is crazy. That's it.
I don't know where you find them, Stephen, but they're great.
Like I said, Seeger made it famous.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And now we go to Cornwall and Mike Reeves.
Hope you can hear me. I'll get as close to the mic as I can, but I thought I'd quickly show you where I am. See that? Right. So, yeah, I've been Shanty Festival in Cornwall, so I thought I'd better do some Cornish songs. The first one is Proper Job, and in the song, Proper Job is the Cornish answer yes. It's just ask question. They've done something. They say proper job, they say. So, is there a land where cream is cream and where a man has time to dream? Is there a place where peace is peace and where the race for change can cease? Is there a coast where cliffs are cliffs? Folk never talk in buts or ifs. Can I escape this crazy stress? Hear how the Cornish answer yes. Proper job, first you cross the Tamar. Proper job, sea breeze in your face. Devon may be touchy, Cornwall is a duchy. Proper job, Kernow is the place. Proper job, when the Lord made Cornwall. Proper job, granite built with grace. Charm in every corner, Lanston to Lamorna. Proper job, Kernow is the place. Shades of miners, tough handliners, and a man born there in Camboard made an engine fine and fitty. And if you must bend down in Truro town, there's a city. Proper job, take a stroll down 4th Street. Proper job, pasty in your hand. Saffron sweet and spicy, have a bit of nicey. Proper job, Kernow is the land. Saffron and sweet and spicy, have a bit of nicey. Proper job, Kernow is the land. Proper job, take a stroll down 4th Street. Proper job, pasty in your hand. Saffron sweet and spicy, have a bit of nicey. Proper job, Kernow is the land. Proper job, Kernow is the land. Proper job.
Thank you, Mike. You sound better now than you sound at home, usually. You have a good setup. You're very clear. Okay, and now from Cornwall back to Broward County, Florida. Donna.
Hi. Okay, this song I wrote about 4 or 5 years ago. It's called Transform. And one thing most people can agree on, regardless of religious differences, is there's a Heavenly Father. There's somebody we can say Abba to, Father to. And as we sing this, I have a little chorus that would be nice if everybody would sing with me. It's real easy. It's transform, transform, Lord, transform me. That's it. It's really easy, and every time I sing this song, I feel a bit transformed. So it works. Every time I sing it, there's a blessing. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and sing this song, Transform. And I hope you like it. If maybe you've heard it before, I don't know. I might have sang it once or twice before. So anyway, chorus: transform, transform, Lord, transform me. Okay. How's that as far as volume is concerned? Is that okay? Okay. Dreams into realities, hopes to positivities, banners to salutes, flowers from their roots, fountains Fountains into springs, rushing rivers into oceans, my thoughts to emotions that overwhelm my soul. Transform, transform, transform. Lord, transform me. Fountains into springs, rushing rivers into oceans, my thoughts to emotions that overwhelm my soul. I squirm at contemplation, oh, through the transformation, find the light of my salvation and the depth within my soul. Here we go. Transform, transform, transform. Lord, transform me. So there is eternal goal, and I begin to live my role, knowing from the start that I have done my part of making dreams into realities, hopes to positivities, banners to salutes, flowers into fruits that bear eternal life. Transform, transform, transform. Lord, transform me. One more time. Last chance to sing it with me. Transform, transform, transform. Lord, transform me. Take your dog out for a walk before it rains. I'm in South Florida.
We heard you this time.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Donna. And now we go to Palm Beach County and Susan and Bob. Air conditioner off?
Air conditioner is off.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, happy Father's Day to all of yous, and especially this guy here. I couldn't really think of a Father's Day song, but this song has Daddy in it, so I'm going with it. Hope I remember the words. Perhaps it's the color of the sun cut flat uncovering the crossroads I'm standing at. Maybe it's the weather or something like that, but Daddy, you've been on my mind. I don't mean trouble, please don't put me down or get upset. I am not pleading or saying I can't forget. I do not walk the floor, bow down and bend, but yet, Daddy, you're just on my mind. Even though my mind is hazy and my thoughts, they might be narrow, where you been don't bother me or bring me down in sorrow. It don't even matter to me who you waken with tomorrow. Daddy, you've been on my mind. Even though my mind is hazy and my thoughts, they might be narrow. I just did that, didn't I? I am not asking you to say words like yes or no, please understand me. I'm not calling for you to go. I'm just breathing to myself, pretending not that I don't know. Daddy, you've been on my mind. When you wake up in the morning, baby, look inside your mirror. Though you know I won't be next to you, you know I won't be near. I'll just be curious to know if you can see yourself as clear as someone who's had you on her mind. More or less.
Thank you, Susan. Thank you. And now, Bob.
Okay, well, today I'm going to do two songs about old ships. And one of them is a new song for me, and the other one I've played here once before. I'm going to start out with a new song, and a lot of you might know it from the recordings of Gordon Bach and Ed Trickett and Ann Muir. And I know Gordon did it by himself once. And it's a song about the old schooners that were left to rot in the town of Wiscasset, Maine. And I'm just going to read you just what it says here. The Hesper and Luther Little were two trade route schooners that were left abandoned in Wiscasset, Maine. Both ships were built in Massachusetts in the 1910s and wound up under one owner in 1932. And despite his efforts to make use of these schooners, the last owner went bankrupt and died not long afterwards. And both ships were essentially abandoned, where their owner had left them in Wiscasset and where they disintegrated over time. And Susan, her sister and husband lived up in Rockland, Maine, and we would vacation up there whenever we could. And so we went by that town of Wiscasset and those ships through the years and watched them ourselves as they kind of went further and further into disintegration. So anyway, I always thought Gordon Bach wrote this song, but it's actually a song by a gal named Lois Lyman, and it tells the story of these ships. But the winter is upon you now, and time is passing slow. Tides ebb and flow down below. You remember riding home, dying summer breeze, topsails gleaming gold and setting sun among the trees, and the osprey wheeling slowly through the shadows by the shore, where the towering cliffs of granite plunge 10 fathom deep or more, and the eddies swirl and flow down below. You were solid, built of Douglas fir and oak and yellow pine, 200 feet sailed by a crew that numbered only 9, hauling lumber through your timber ports and dyewood from the south, running home from Norfolk, bearing coal to heat the north, and whatever they could stow down below. But the winter is upon you now, and time is passing slow, and the tides ebb and flow down below. You served them well for 15 years, your canvas all unfurled, when New England's sailing ships were found in ports around the world. But spars gave way to smokestacks, clouds of white to black and gray. There was nothing left for you to do but waste your time away, and the rot was spreading slow down below. And the winter is upon you now, and time is passing slow, and the air tides ebb and flow down below. From Wiscasset to the China Lakes the narrow gauge did run, and to push it northward to Quebec was old Frank Winter's plan. and the schooners were to bring his cargoes in to meet the train. When he found you idle by the dock, he brought you down to Maine, where the tides ebb and flow down below. You know, he tried the best he could, but he just couldn't make it pay. So he ran you both aground and turned around and walked away. You've been waiting here for 15 years, but no one set you free. Now you're broken down and dying, lying open to the sea. And the tides ebb and flow down below. But the winter end is coming now, and time is passing slow. And the tides ebb and flow down below. Now the people come to stare at you and wonder in their eyes. For times have changed since men knew how to work a ship your size. And the seas you sailed are running black, in time we'll know our loss. It's too late now for you, but is too late for us now. Can you teach us what you know before you go? And the winter is upon you now, and time is passing slow, and the tides ebb and flow down below. Yes, the winter is upon you now, time is passing slow, and the tide ebb and flow down below. Wiscasset Schooners.
Beautiful, beautiful rendition. Thank you, Bob. Thank you, Susan. And now, Kathleen.
Oh, okay. Hopefully I've got two father songs, although I might do the other one. Anyway, nobody's done this one so far, and it's Kate Wolf's song, I Never Knew My Father, and I think I should dedicate this to Bob Gelb, really. It's for people who lost their fathers young. Oops. Sorry, knocked the stick down. Right. It was 25 years ago when I began my life. The second son of a woman tried hard to raise us right. She married a man when I was just a babe, who treated me just like his own, even giving me his name. I never knew my father, I only knew his name. I never knew the way he moved, how he talked or what he said. But now I've grown and my mama says, you're like your daddy, just the same. Sometimes I got to wondering about this man I never knew, and I find myself into something just the way he used to do. Heard stories all my life, how he loved to sing, how he would take apart and fix most anything. I never knew my father, I only knew his name. Never knew the way he moved, how he talked or what he said. But now I've grown and mama says, you're like your daddy, just the same. that he died before I was born. I get to asking why he did, and I'll probably ask some more. My life's been good, can't say that I've had it bad, but now I'm seeing years that my dad never had. Never knew my father, I only knew his name. Never knew where he moved, how he talked or what he said. But now I've grown and my mama says you like your daddy just the same.
Very poignant. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And now we have Doreen and Alex. Who's going first? Unmute.
Actually, we're gonna sing a song in unison together, and it's called. Can you hear me? I hope
Yes,
so. Okay.
yes.
So it's called Fish Assassin, and it's by a couple. They call themselves Shovels and Rope. Okay, here we go. It's quiet on the river this morning. Ain't nobody on the water but me. But the sun's going on and it won't be long. There's a little more weight coming in this creek. Put the lines out in the water in the morning. They'll be loaded by the end of the day. I put a trap or two in the wolf got slew. They'll be full if I'm lucky that way. I crossed that line with that woman of mine, and she sent me on down that way. Now I'm making noise with the alligator boys, 20 miles east of Go Shake. Boom, 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 boom. The river got out of the bank, sweet darling. Probably up into the roots by now. But there ain't no harassing this old fish assassin. Gonna get him in the boat somehow. We're gonna fry a mess of fish in the evening, me and whoever else is around. And that baby of mine will be mad at me, but believe me, she'll be coming on down. I crossed that line with that woman of mine, and she sent me on down that way. Now I'm making noise with the alligator boys, 20 miles east of Go Shake. Making noise with the alligator boys, 20 miles east of Go Shake. That's it.
Terrific!
One more. We got one more, Lorraine. Two people get two songs. Unmute, unmute.
Okay. We weren't prepared for that. Okay. All right. Okay. Well, I'll do one that everyone probably knows. And by the way, happy Father's Day, everybody that's a father. But anyway, this is Bring It On Home to Me. And I know, Susan, you'll sing with me, right? Okay, good. If you ever change your mind, that's a little high. If you ever leave your mind, change your mind about leaving me behind. Oh, bring it to me. Bring your sweet lovin'. Bring it on home to me. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know I laughed when you left, but now I know I only hurt myself. Oh, bring it to me. Bring your sweet lovin'. Bring it on home to me. Yeah, yeah. I give you jewelry and money too. And that ain't all I've done for you. Oh, bring it to me. Bring your sweet lovin'. Bring it on home to me. Yeah, yeah. You know I'll always be your slave till I'm buried in my grave. Oh, honey, bring it to me. Bring your sweet lovin'. Bring it on home to me. Yeah, yeah. One more thing. Tried to do you right, but you stayed out all night. But I never give you. I'm lost.
Bring it on home to me. Yeah, yeah. Oh well. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Doreen. Okay, and now we go to Debbie and Ron, and just a heads up, Laura will be after Debbie and Ron. Okay?
All right. So let's see. What do we have here?
I think it's
G.
Oh, G.
This is a G. All right. So this is a trad funny kitty song. Ready? We have a dear old daddy for whom we daily pray. He has a set of whiskers, they're always in the way. Oh, they're always in the way. The cows eat them for hay. They hide the dirt on daddy's shirt, they're always in the way. We have a dear old mother, with him at night she sleeps. She wakes up in the morning, thinks she's eating shredded wheat. Oh, they're always in the way. The cows eat them for hay. They hide the dirt on daddy's shirt, they're always in the way. Father had a strong back, now it's all caved in. He stepped upon his whiskers and walked up to his chin. Oh, they're always in the way. The cows eat them for hay. They hide the dirt on daddy's shirt, they're always in the way. We have a dear old grandma, she likes the whiskers too. She uses them for dusting and cleaning out the flue. Whoa, they're always in the way. The cows eat them for hay. They hide the dirt on daddy's shirt, they're always in the way. We have a dear old brother, he has a Ford machine. He uses father's whiskers to strain the gasoline. Oh, they're always in the way. The cows eat them for hay. They hide the dirt on daddy's shirt, they're always in the way. When father goes in swimming, no bathing suit for him. Ties whiskers round his waist, the daily plunges in. Oh, they're always in the way. The cows eat them for hay. They hide the dirt on daddy's shirt, they're always in the way. There's another 10 verses, so I'll leave it here. Oh, they're always in the way. The cows eat them for hay. They hide the dirt on daddy's shirt, they're always in the way.
Very cute.
I remember that. Right? Yes, I learned it when I was a kid, and it's older than that. Okay. All right. So, what do you got on? Oh, we need a key here. D.
All right, lest we neglect the mothers.
Can you see him? Yes,
Today.
not neglecting the mothers either today. But...
A mother was washing her baby one night. Was the youngest of 10 and a delicate mite. The mother was poor and the baby was thin. 'Twas naught but a skeleton covered with skin. The mother turned round for the soap off the rack. She was only a moment, but when she turned back, her baby had gone, and in anguish she cried, "Oh, where has my baby gone?" The angels replied, "Your baby has gone down the plug hole. Your baby has gone down the plug. The poor little thing was so skinny and thin. He should have been washed in a jug, in a jug. Your baby is perfectly happy. He won't need a bath anymore. He's a-mucking about with the angels above. Not lost, but gone before.
Sanctimonious.
Thank you so much, Debbie and Lon. Now, unmute Laura. Your turn.
Hi, everybody. Laura wants to sing Puff the Magic Dragon today. Okay. Are you gonna hold that? Yeah. Go. Yeah. It's just a toy that doesn't work. But if you want to hold it, that's fine. And pick your head up and look up at everybody. Yeah, there you go. Fine. Go. Yeah. Puff the magic dragon. Puff the magic dragon. Live by the sea and forest in the ornament and Halloween. Puff the magic dragon. Live by the sea and forest in the ornament and Halloween. Little Jackie Paper loved his rascal puff and bottom strings and sealing wax and other fancy stuff. Today they would travel on a boat with the sails. Jackie kept a lookout post on the boat making a sail. Today they would travel on a boat with bird sail. Jackie kept a lookout post on the boat making a sail. Puff the magic dragon lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in land called Honolulu.
Way to go, Laura!
Singer-songwriter Bill Floyd. Mute. Well, muted.
Hello, everybody. This is a song that I wrote about my two daughters growing up. Since it's Father's Day, I think I'll do it. But it was called Daddy's Little Girl. Isn't going. Well, she's got her own car and she's got her own place. You can tell she's grown up by that look on her face. She used to be small, had a lot of brown curls. Folks smiled and pointed, called her Daddy's little girl. You know, I was her hero, so big and so strong. We played with her dolls and we all got along. One day I looked twice, she's in makeup and pearls. Can you tell me what happened? Where's Daddy's little girl? I thought time was dragging, turns out it went fast. And nothing's forever, you blink twice and it's past. You're off in the distance where you once were her world. But time waits for no one, not me, or Daddy's little girl. Well, I still have my memories, lots of old photographs, and what you've become, expectations surpassed. I guess it was time, and my eyes have concurred, but it's hard to think different. You're still Daddy's little girl. I thought time was dragging, turns out it went fast, and nothing's forever, you blink twice and it's past. You're off in the distance where you once were her world, but time waits for no one, not me, or Daddy's little girl. You're off in the distance where you once were her world, but time waits for no one, not me, or Daddy's little girl.
So sweet.
Thank you. And if you look at our page, Bill has some albums listed that he did. I mean, he has a whole discography, so I say look at the club page and follow his link.
Thank you.
There's some good material out there.
Thanks all.
You deserve it, Bill. Okay, and I guess it's my turn now. I forgot the exact year, but in the 50s, I remember on the hit parade, there was a song came out in England with English words to the Hebrew song Hava Nagila. And it was called Dance Everybody Dance, and it was by Betty Madigan. I remember I was able to retrieve the words, so I'm going to sing the song, and I'm going to intersperse the Hebrew song together with the English song, the original, so you'll hear what it is. Over the valley voices are singing, bells are a ringing, dance, everyone dance. Come to the valley, run through, the clover harvest is over, dance, everyone dance. Dance where the corn was high, under a golden sky. Dance where the wine was born, dance, everyone dance. Whirl and turn about, lift up your arms and shout. Join hands, skip along, dance, everyone dance. Turn left, turn right, hold tight, lift your feet, your heart will follow. Lift your voice, fill the hollow, spread your wings like a swallow. Fly away, greet the day, dance, dance, everybody dance. Hava, Nagila, Hava, Nagila, Hava, Nagila, Venismacha. Hava, Nagila, Hava, Nagila, Hava, Nagila, Venismacha. Havana, Radmana, Havana, Radmana, Havana, Radmana, Venismacha. Havana, Radmana, Havana, Radmana, Havana, Radmana, Venismacha. Oro, Oro, Achim, Urachim, Belev Sameach, Urachim, Belev Sameach, Urachim, Belev Sameach, Urachim, Urachim, Belev Sameach. Over the valley voices are singing, bells are a ringing, dance, everyone dance. Come to the valley, run through, the clover harvest is over, dance, everyone dance. Dance where the corn was high, under a golden sky. Dance where the wine was born, dance, everyone dance. Whirl and turn about, lift up your forearms and shout. Join hands, skip along, dance, everyone dance. Turn left, turn right, hold tight, lift your feet, your heart will follow. Lift your voice, fill the hollow, spread your wings like the swallow. Fly away, greet the day. Dance, dance, everybody dance.
Oh, nicely done, song.
Okay, completed one round, and now we start the second round, which means everybody mute except Murray. It's your turn.
Okay. All right. This one doesn't go back as far as yours. It only goes back to the 70s. I think the early 70s or the mid 70s, something like that. I don't remember for sure. But this is a song that I wrote. I didn't write the melody. The melody comes from an old Puerto Rican song. And, you know, in the old Puerto Rican songs, in order to shout an exclamation of appreciation or happiness, they sometimes went wepa, wepa, wepa. Anybody familiar with that? Anyway, that's what they do, and the song that I got this from had those words, but I don't use that. But this does have a Puerto Rican aspect to it, and some words in it that are Spanish. It's about somebody called Mr. Denny, who the one who's singing it, supposedly in the song, has this Puerto Rican accent and calls him Mita Denny. And this is actually based on a true thing, because this guy, Mr. Denny, I forgot his first name, it might have been John, but he was liked by all the clients that he had, the welfare clients. This was when I worked for the Department of Social Services in New York City, and the time that I was only a caseworker, I went up to supervisor 1, 2, and 3 before I retired. But finally, I was in a unit called the fraud control unit, and we were supposed to check out, you know, whether in some cases where there was suspicion, whether somebody was committing fraud, or whether we should approve some special check payment to them based on a fire or some other accident or whatever. Well, anyway, Mr. Denny, John Denny, I think it was, he was the most sympathetic to the clients of all of the group. So I made a song about him, and it shows, you know, where his sympathies were. Okay, so I wrote the words, but like I said, I got the melody from an existent song. My welfare check don't come, I haven't got a crumb. My boyfriend is a drunken bum. Yo quiero mitad Denny, yo quiero mitad Denny, yo quiero mitad Denny, yo quiero barba rubia. That means blonde beard. He was blonde. Yo quiero barba rubia, yo quiero mitad Denny. My budget is a mess, I can't afford a dress. I'm eating dog food, I confess. Yo quiero mitad Denny. Yo quiero, by the way, means I want, Mr. Denny. Yo quiero mitad Denny. Yo quiero mitad Denny. Yo quiero barba rubia. Yo quiero mitad Denny. My children disobey. From school they stay away. My jet black hair is turning gray. Yo quiero mitad Denny, yo quiero mitad Denny, yo quiero mitad Denny, yo quiero barba rubia, yo quiero mitad Denny. I've given up the pill because it makes me ill, but I'm a needy woman still. Yo quiero mitad Denny, yo quiero mitad Denny, yo quiero mitad Denny, yo quiero barba rubia, yo quiero mitad Denny. My asthma is a shame, it causes me such pain. Arthritis makes me nearly lame. Yo quiero mitad Denny, yo quiero mitad Denny, yo quiero mitad Denny, yo quiero barba rubia, yo quiero mitad Denny. My landlord is a louse, he will not fix my house. It isn't fit for man or mouse. Yo quiero mitad Denny, yo quiero mitad Denny, yo quiero mitad Denny, yo quiero barba rubia, yo quiero mitad Denny. Oh baby, I'm so fond, we've such a healthy bond. I wonder why his hair's so blonde. Yo quiero mitad Denny, yo quiero mitad Denny, yo quiero mitad Denny, yo quiero barba rubia, yo quiero mitad Denny. I wonder if it's wrong, my urge is very strong. I haven't had it in so long. Yo quiero mitad Denny, yo quiero mitad Denny, yo quiero mitad Denny, yo quiero barba rubia, yo quiero mitad Denny. My children live in fear, they want to move from here, but I will stay so he'll be near. Yo quiero mitad Denny, yo quiero mitad Denny, yo quiero mitad Denny, yo quiero barba rubia, yo quiero mitad Denny. My children want PR, but that is much too far. He'd never get there in his car. Yo quiero mitad Denny, yo quiero mitad Denny, yo quiero mitad Denny, yo quiero barba rubia, yo quiero mitad Denny. My walls are broken plaster, my plumbing's a disaster, the poison make my roaches faster. Yo quiero mitad Denny, yo quiero mitad Denny, yo quiero mitad Denny, yo quiero barba rubia, yo quiero mitad Denny.
Thank you. Back old memories. Okay, and now we go to Jerry.
Alrighty. So I'm going to play you some banjo music, and this particular tune has a verse. My excuse is this particular tune has a verse that says, "All I need to make me happy is two little boys to call me Pappy." Well, so much for Father's Day, but also a tip of the cap to some of my musical fathers, people like Pete Seeger and Roger Sprung. Okay, all great banjo players and great musical influencers. So worthwhile to acknowledge them. Ron, I'm going to play in the key of G, so if you want to play along, I'm not going to throw you any curveballs or anything like that. I promise I'll stay in that key, and who knows what else will come along. I'll do a couple of verses of this and then swing it to something else, and we'll see what happens. I've decided that my banjo playing reminds me a little bit of when I was in college, and every time I had to write a paper, I had to reteach myself how to type. Now, so it goes with the banjo. It goes to sleep, and then I go, oh, I should do a banjo tune and have to remember how to play. So let's see. I love my wife, I love my baby, love my biscuits sopped in gravy. Hey, little black-eyed Susie, come on, black-eyed Susie. Hey, little black-eyed Susie, you're the gal for me. All I want in this creation's a little wife and a big plantation. Hey, little black-eyed Susie, come on, black-eyed Susie. Hey, little black-eyed Susie, you're the gal for me. Look out now. And all I need to make me happy is two little boys to call me Pappy. Hey, little black-eyed Susie. Come on, black-eyed Susie. Hey, little black-eyed Susie, you're the gal for me.